Okay. Good morning. Rev.Gibbs will now bring the Kansho.
No. Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu.
Good morning, and welcome to the Pasadena Buddhist Temple. We have our guest speaker, Reverend Koho Takata, and then our own Reverend Gregory Gibbs. On audiovisual, we have Alan Goto. Our organist today is Howard Hayes, and also thank you to Mrs. Kyoko Gibbs for arranging the beautiful flowers. On the first Sunday of each month, we observe the monthly memorial service, or Shotsuki Hoyo, and this is in honor of those members of our Buddhist community that have passed away during the month. Sensei will now read the names of those loved ones who have passed during the month of March and in whose memory this morning's service is being conducted. For those of you who are attending today in recognition of your deceased family members, please come forward to offer incense as Sensei reads the name of your departed loved ones.
Yes, thank you, June. And Takata-sensei, I will lose the mask when we're up here. We're far enough away from you, I think, and we're all multiple vaccinations. I do want you to be able to hear these names. This is really important, I believe, to hear the names of those we love in the reverent presence of the Buddha. I'm glad that my family is on this list. So I will, if I may, read the names on our March Shotsuki Hoyo list. These are the friends we know who have passed in March. If you lost someone in the month of March who's not on the list, just let me know. There's no charge for this. We'd be happy to add them to our yearly reading. So the March Shotsuki Hoyo list. Alai Shiano. Doi Douglas Michitsuru. Doi Eiji. Doi Aoi. Fujimoto Masako. Fujikawa Dean. Fujitaki Isamu. Fujitaki Motohiko. Fukumoto Hatsuguri. Furumoto Riko Lily. Hatakeyama Mineto. Hirakawa Hisano. Hiramoto Fujie. Hirata Hirata-san. Hirayasu Najiro. Honda Shin. Hori Renosuke. Ige Saburo. Inuma Chiyoko. Ito Ben. Iwahashi Mitsuzo. Kamoto Ichino. Kato Mitsu. Kato Seiichi. Kawahara Musaku. Kawahara Okame. Kawamura Saichi. Kawamoto Miya. Kinoshita Ronald H. Kiriyama Taketoshi. Konishi Akio. Konishi Ayano. Kubo Seijiro. Kuraoka Sakuichi. Kurashita Shigeru. Kuramoto Lily Yuriko. Kurata Tsuyu. Kuwahara Waki. Masumoto Kemechi. Masumoto Kemechi. Mita Don Junzo. Miyashita Hisano. Morimoto Ito. Morimoto Momoyo. Morioka Shiomi. Morioka Kikuchi. Nagasawa Fuyo. Nagata Toshie. Naido Yoshiko. Nishi Kiyoko. Nishida Joichi. Nishimoto Kino. Nishimoto Masaichi. Nishimoto Masako. Ogawa Shioko. Otake Torao. Otani Kazuichi. Ropyakuda Satoru Jo. Sakamoto Haruichi. Sasamoto Takiko. Seikichi Kameo. Shigeishi Tayoko. Shigeno Hatsutaro. Sugasawara Matsu. Sugiyama Tokichi. Sunairi Jokichi. Takahashi Toshiko. Takeda Kiyoshi. Takemori Terry. Takenaka Tokie. Takenouchi Shinichi. Tamura Hisako. Tanabe Masao. Teshima Tokichi. Togashi Akira. Toinaka Tagoro Katsuno. Tomotani Hideji. Wakasa Kihei. Yamada Hatsutaro. Yamaguchi. Reverend Dr. Ken. Yamanaka Mary. Yamane Chieko. Yamane Katsutaro. Yamane Shigeo. Yamane Tadao. Yamasaki Kuemon. Yamasaki Mas. Yamasaki Mitsuyo. Yamasaki Yoshimasa. Yamasaki Yayoi, Yokoyama Ikue, Yujibi Hisa, Namo Mirabutsu, Namo Nabutsu, Namo. Thank you very much. Again, these are the people we know we've lost in March. We will remember them. Their names will be read into perpetuity forever. We're going to be here. One of us will be here forever. We will read the names of these people we care for. We will proceed with the service. Thank you very much.
Will the Sangha please rise? There is no place the moon does not shine, but it only illuminates in the heart of those who gaze at it. Honen Shonin. Please be seated. Please turn your pages to, the book. Open your book to page 33. This is for the Sutra chanting. This is San Butsuge. Again, page 33. Thank you.
Namo Mirabutsu, Namo Nabutsu, Namo Nabutsu, Namo Mirabutsu, Namo Nabutsu. Busatsu Daimoryo Jukyo Sanbutsuge Hogen Gigi Ijin Mugoku Node Enmyo Muryo Tofya Nichidatmani Shuko Enmyo Aishnompe Yunyaku Jumoku Yorai Yogen Tose Murin Shogaku Daion Koru Jippo Daimon Shojin Tammai Chie Itoku Muryo Shushokeyu Jintai Zennen Shobuten Hokai Dujin Jinno Kumongai Tai Mumyo Yokunu Teson Yomu Ninno Shi Shijin Toku Muryo Ukun Kodai Chie Jinmyo Komyo Iso Shinno Daisen Ganga Sabuten Daisho Kado Shoji Nihu Gedan Tuze Joy Kainin Shojin Tammai Chi Chie Ijo Yote Tokubuten Fugyo Shigan Isai Kuku Issa Dayan Keshi Ubuten Yakusen Okuman Muryo Daisho Shunyong Kuyo Isai Shito Shobuten Fugyo Udo Kansho Hungyaku Ginyong Oja Shobuten Hokai Bufu Kage Bushu Sendo Omyo Shisho Kenshi Shokoku Yode Shojin Ijin Nanryo Yoga Thabuten Kokudo Daichi Goshu Kimyo Dojo Chozaten Kokunyo Nayon Nimu Toso to ai min do dat isai Shippo Raisho Shinnet Shoujo Itonga Koku Keaku Annon Obutun Shinmyo Vega Shinsho Otugan no Hi Rikisho Shoyoku Jippo Seison Shi e muge Joryo Shison Shiga Shingyo Keiryo Shinshi Shoku Dokuchu Kagyo Shojin Ninju Ahukai Naman Shikudoku Byodo Sei Isai Don Modai Shin Onjo Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu.
Will the Gatha please rise and turn to page 164 for the song Skiga Deta. Again, page 164 for the song Skiga Deta. Please remain standing. Turn to page 10 for the three treasures.
You got enough heavy lifting today. The three treasures, right? The three treasures on page 10. Not the 10 treasures on page 3. It's the 3 treasures on page 10. How rare and wondrous it is to have been born into human life, and now I live it. How rare and wondrous it is to be able to listen to the Buddha Dharma, and now I am able to hear it. If I do not transcend the world of delusion in this life, when will I ever attain spiritual liberation? May I, along with the entire Sangha, with sincere heart and mind, rely on that which can be truly relied on in life, the 3 treasures. Please join me. I rely on the Buddha. May I, along with all sentient beings, awaken to the great path with my entire being and discover the highest aspiration, which is to become a Buddha. I rely on the Dharma. May I, along with all sentient beings, deeply reflect on the meaning of the sutras and gain wisdom that is vast as the ocean. I rely on the Sangha. May I, along with all sentient beings, become one Sangha of life, able to move forward and live with a dynamic spirit that is hindered by nothing. The unsurpassed, deep, and wondrous Dharma, even in millions of kalpas, is extremely difficult to encounter. But now I am able to experience and embrace it. May I come to understand and revere the true meaning of the Tathagata. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Please be seated. We are fortunate to have a guest speaker today, and I'm going to introduce him from the other mic, if I may. I won't be in his way when he comes up to speak. Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu. We are fortunate to have Reverend Koho Takata as our guest today. Reverend Koho Takata was born and raised as the second son of a 20th generation minister from Jodo Temple in Toyama, Japan. He graduated from Ryokoku University in Kyoto, majoring in Jodo Shinshu, Pure Land Shin Buddhism. That was 1993. Reverend Takata received his Tokudo ordination back in July of 1986 and his Kyoshi certification in May of 1993. His overseas ministry began at the Hompo Honganji Mission of Hawaii in October of 1995, and after 2 months of orientation at headquarters, he was assigned to the Hompo Honganji Hawaii Betsuin as an associate minister, and he was at the Hawaii Betsuin from December of 95 through May of 1998. He became the resident minister of the Koho Takata Buddhist Temple on Kauai in June of 1998, and he was there until October of 2005. And then he went to the Hompo Honganji Mission of Hawaii Office of the Bishop as the executive assistant to the bishop, which position he held from November of 2005 through June of 2011. After 16 years of service at the Hompo Honganji Mission of Hawaii, Reverend Takata resigned his ministry with the Hawaii Kyodon and transferred here to the Buddhist Churches of America on the U.S. mainland. And in July of 2011, his first assignment was the Arizona Buddhist Temple in Phoenix, and we're pleased to have 5 members of the Arizona Buddhist Temple here with us today. And after serving the Arizona Buddhist Temple in Phoenix as its resident minister for 2 years, from July of 2011 to July of 2013, Sensei came to the LA Hompo Honganji Buddhist Temple, which is what we all call it, but you all call it Nishi, he came to the Los Angeles Butsuin, or Nishi, and that was as resident minister from 2013, August of 2013, through August of 2020, so 2 years exactly. 7 years, excuse me, 7 years exactly. My glasses fog up. Rev. Takata was then reassigned to the West Los Angeles Buddhist Temple as their resident minister, effective August of 2020, which position he is still holding now. He is our resident minister at the West Los Angeles Buddhist Temple, and we will be pleased to hear his Dharma message. Thank you very much for coming, Sensei. Please, we will be pleased to listen to you.
Would you please join me in 合唱、どうぞ合唱してください。Shakyamuni Buddha and Amida Buddha are our father and our mother, full of love and compassion for us, guiding us through various skillful means. They bring us to awaken the supreme Shinjin. Namandavs, 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 Namandavs. Good morning, everyone. 皆様おはようございます。Thank you very much, Gibbs Sensei, for introducing me, and thank you very much for inviting me to share the Buddha Dharma this morning at this monthly memorial service, the Shotsuki Hoyo. 今日はお招きくださいましてありがとうございます。So this morning I'd like to share one of my religious experiences with you. As Sensei introduced me, I was in Arizona Buddhist Temple, the resident minister, for a couple of years. At that time, one day I received a phone call from a member. And her brother was in the hospital, and she asked me to visit the hospital. Her brother was a very healthy person, and he always enjoyed with his wife, working at gym, and spending time with his family members. He never smoked and drink. When I was a high school student, I started smoking and drinking, but he never did. He always cared about his health. And one day when he was playing tennis with his wife, he had a hard time breathing, and his wife immediately booked the hospital, and he went to the hospital to check it out. Then he found he was a lung cancer, and his stage was already 4. This was the reason why his sister contacted me and asked me to visit her brother in the hospital. When I visited him, he had an oxygen mask and looked like very difficult time to breathe. Knowing about his breathing problem, I had a very short conversation with him. I recall that he was saying, Nammandav, Nammandav, Nammandav. I never expected to him to recite the Buddha's name during our conversation. I guess he was already preparing for his death and dying. Since receiving my ordination at the age of 15, I encountered and witnessed many deaths and dying. But he was the first person who was saying, Nammandav, Nammandav, at the moment of death. After meeting with him for a while, knowing about his critical condition, I suggested having a bedside service before his passing to his wife and 2 daughters and explained the meaning of the service. A few days later, his wife called and asked me to conduct a bedside service at the hospital. So I went to the hospital and had a bedside service with him and his family members. And before the service, he asked his doctor if he can remove his oxygen mask. And the doctor replied to him, "It's okay if it is short time." I recall that I chanted Jusenge very fast. And during the chanting, he was putting his hand together in Kansho. I remember that his hands were shaking and his eyes were full of tears. He was trying to say something during the service. I guess he was saying, "Namman Nam, Namman Nam." It was one of the precious with him and his family members at the time of his death. And after the service, he was transferred to the hospice and passed away shortly after the transfer. At his funeral service, I presented Homyo, Buddhist name, Shaku Myogan. Shaku means a disciple of Shakyamuni Buddha. Found out. So Shak became his last name. In other words, he belonged to Shaka family. He became a Buddha. A Myo means, Shaku Myo Gan, Myo means the name of the Buddha, Namo Amida Butsu. He recited, he was saying Namman Nav, Namman Nav at the time of death. So I chose Myo, or name, as one of the character of his Dharma name. A Myo Gan's Gan, Gan means Buddha's primal vow, wish, Buddha's wish to save all beings. The reason I chose Gan, or Buddha's wish, as the other character for his Homyo, or Buddhist name, was knowing about his caring and compassionate mind, like Buddha. I guess it was a very difficult decision for him to end his life. He was suffering to breathe because of his tumor pushing on his heart. Since the stage was already 4, his cancer was not able to cure either by operation or treatment. The doctor was asking whether he wishes to extend his life or end his life. He could extend his life for a while, but he decided to end his life by himself. He didn't want his wife and 2 daughters to suffer, to discuss, and decide this. So he made the decision by himself to end his life. He asked his doctor to remove all tubes and end his life. Because of his compassionate mind, his caring mind, and thoughtfulness about his family, I understand he made a difficult decision. When I heard this story from his wife and daughters, I chose or Buddha's wish, which embodies Buddha's great compassionate mind as the other character of his Hoyo Buddhist name. So Shakumyo-gan means he became Buddha who possesses a great compassionate mind and manifested the compassionate working in the Namo Amidabus, the name of the Buddha, Nammandabus. I believe each one of us experienced the precious and memorable moment of death and dying with our loved ones. Like the story I shared with you today, our loved ones became Buddha upon their death, and they are no longer physically with us. However, it is not the end when they pass away. Our loved ones are still with us as the Buddha of infinite light and life, and they are constantly guiding us in the Namo Amidabus as infinite wisdom and compassion of the Buddha. Thus, we are all enabled to live and coexist in the Buddha's name, Nammandabus. So let us realize the perfect guidance of the Buddha and our loved ones at each moment of our lives and rejoice in the Nembutsu, Namo Amidabus, as a true and real life. Thank you very much for listening. I now would like to share the message in Japanese. 本日は、パサデナ仏教館にお招きくださいましてどうもありがとうございます。しばらくの間ですが日本語でご法話をさせていただきます。今ほどちょっと英語でお話しさせていただきましたが、これはアリゾナにいた時の、経験のお話です。ある時メンバーの人から電話をいただいて、すごく、気を使っておられる、健康に気を使っておられる方だったんですけど、ある日、テニスをしている時にちょっと息苦しくなって、奥様が気を使って病院にアポイントメントを取られて、そして病院に行かれたらすでにもうがんで、肺のがんでステージが4というもう低クリの状態だったということです。そしていろいろと、その人とお話をさせていただく中でその方がいつもですね手を合わせて何万ダブ何万ダブというふうにお念仏を唱えておられたことを、よく、印象深く残っております。でその方がですね亡くなる時にですね、枕業臨終言業をさせていただいたわけですが、その時にですね自分がつけていたマスクですね、酸素マスクを外してもいいですかと。で一緒に、重生芸をお務めさせていただいたわけですが、その時に手を合わせられて、その手が震えておられてですね、で目には涙を浮かべられて、で何万ダブ何万ダブと唱えておられたことが、印象深く残っております。でお葬式の前にですねその方のご家族と、お話しさせていただいたんですけど、その方はですねお医者さんから自分の命をですね少し延ばすことができますよ、それともここで命を終わりますかという、選択肢をいただいておられたそうですが、その方は自分の奥さんとか娘さんがこういうような自分の死のことをですね話したりしたら、苦しむだろうということで自ら自分が死んでいく道を決められたそうです。でそのお話をですね亡くなった後に私は聞かせていただいたんですけど、その時にですね、法名を釈明願という、お名前を付けさせていただきました。で釈というのは、お釈迦様の一字をいただいて釈と。で名というのは名前の名という字を書くんですが、 これは仏様のお名前です。その方がずっと手を合わせて何万ナブ何万ナブと唱えておられたので、その仏様のお名前、そして願というのは仏様の願いですね。仏様の願いというのは生きとし生けるもののすべてをいつでもどこででも必ず救いますよという願いですね。でこの願いをですね、その方が亡くなっていかれる時にですね、自分の奥さんとか子供さんにあんまり迷惑をかけたくない、あんまり悲しましたくないということで、その慈しみの心を示されたということで、その願いという法名をつけさせていただきました。で皆様も今日このように小月法要に来られて、いろんな亡き方といろんな、印象深い、そんで意義深い最後の時を過ごしてこられたかと思います。でも浄土真宗の見教えでは、その人が亡くなったらそれで終わりではないんですね。私たちの亡き人、私も家族を亡くしています。そして私も友人、そして先生を亡くしております。でもその方が今私と一緒にいてくださる、何万打仏と私が唱えるときに、その私の唱える声がですね、その人の亡き方の呼び声となって私に届いているということですね。ですから亡き人と皆様いつもその姿形は見えないですけれども、いつも私たちと常に一緒にいてくださるということですね。ですから亡き人の声なき声、南無阿弥陀仏をお聞かせいただきながら、毎日お念仏の日暮らしをしていただきたいと思います。本日はようこそのお参りでございました。どうもありがとうございます。どうぞ合唱してください。ナマンナウスナンマンナウスナンマンナウスナンマンナウスナンマンナウスナンマンナウス。
Takata Sensei, どうもありがとうございました。Thank you very much, Takata Sensei, for those heartfelt words.
Parents were concerned that the kids from LA were dressing like pachucos or the zoot suiters with long coats and baggy pants, just to let you know. So that is now on display at the Japanese American Museum, and it's ongoing too. So those people that don't know, because I see a lot of new faces here, there is a book that was created called the Ide, and any survivor of the camp, their children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, are available to go in and pay respects to their ancestors that were in the camps. You're allowed to stamp, but you have to make a reservation in advance because the information is not in the people's names are not in alphabetical order. Sometimes the birth dates are wrong, sometimes the spelling of the names are incorrect. And the people there at the museum have to do their homework so that you don't waste time when you go in to stamp. They could find the name ahead of time very quickly, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that reminder, Marvin. And I actually went online to the Janam website, and I did find that there was misspelling of my father's name. So if you haven't done it already, you can check for your loved one's name online to make sure that it's correct. Jeannie?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Takata Sensei, for coming all the way from West LA, and Arizona for coming from Arizona. I hope you had a great seminar yesterday. Joko's coughing. They had their junior YBA seminar yesterday with Oxnard, Pasadena, and Senshin working together. So we're glad to see Arizona here. And so next Sunday, we're going to try doing Sunday school with the little kids. So bring your kids around 9 o'clock. We're going to try to start beforehand. And then we'll be making our onenju with kids and parents. The parents need them too. And then please visit the website. We have some workshops. I think next weekend is Reverend Akahoshi's doing a workshop for the CBE? CBE. So please check online for a lot of the workshops coming up that you could sign up for. And today we're going to have pickleball at 11, tomorrow at 11 o'clock also. And if it's not raining, we'll walk tomorrow morning.
So just to let you know, I'm going to be away from the temple for about 10 days, so no classes until the middle of March, and we won't tell people outside until April 1st. But I expect to be back for the Tai Chi and such middle of this month, but the next 2 weeks I will not be doing that.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention one other thing. Just wanted to let you know that there will be, at least I know that there will be 2 pilgrimages in person this summer. One is at Minidoka. I believe it's the 6th, 7th, and 8th of July. And there will be one at Heart Mountain in the end of July, 27th, 28th, and 29th. So those are in-person pilgrimages. And just to let you know, we have one of our local people from LA will be honored at the Heart Mountain LaDonna Zal Compassionate Witness Award, the Marshall family. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for all those announcements. In closing, I just wanted to say thank you very much for attending today's service. If you have not done so already, you're welcome to come forward and offer incense. Thank you both to Reverend Takata, also to our own Reverend Gibbs for today's service. Thank you to our organist, Howard Hayes, and then also to our audiovisual specialist, Alan Gota. Also thank you to Mrs. Kyoko Gibbs for arranging the beautiful flowers. Thank you. This concludes our service.